Good evening and welcome back to those Prime Day Jackery deals. And that's right, guys, it is Prime Week and Prime Day, and we have those amazing deals for you. Now, you guys are going to notice that there is a banner down below. That banner is 5% off of $1,000 purchases when you purchase a Jackery product from the Jackery store, and it must be shipped from Jackery to get it at that extra discount. I'm going to actually put that in, of course, chat for you guys so you have a copy of that on hand. Now, do bear with me. I'm trying to do my best to keep my voice going throughout all of these shows, but hey, we're here, we're going to have fun, and we're going to do this as we can. Now, like I said, we have a bunch of these amazing deals to be had throughout the whole show. If you see a product or need questions asked, please ask them. We will attempt to answer them as we can with that. Now, I do have Fernando with me in chat. Now, of course, Fernando, he could pop up and answer some questions that I probably couldn't answer, but he is with me as well. Good evening, Fernando, and thanks for welcoming up. Or good morning to Fernando, I should say. I know it is super early, Fernando. It's probably in the middle of the night. He's probably dead tired, but he's here. He's with me. He's going to help me out. Now, guys, we're going to start this off with some products for everybody. And honestly, there's a little bit of something for everybody in this cart. Whether it be just, camping emergencies, quick emergencies, wanting to buy a gift for a loved one, wanting to buy a gift for yourself, or just trying to get a great deal on a product and maybe you're trying to stock up your own store. Hey, there's a little bit of something for everybody, and they are at great deals. Now, we're going to start this show off with the 1000 V2. With that 1000 V2, you're going to notice it's actually $399.99 tonight for the power station itself. With this power station, you're going to get 1,070 watt hours of power in a 24-pound package. Now, I do have a lineup behind me. I have a lineup on the floor, and we got a bunch of products that we're going to start showing you. Now, when I do this, we'll be flipping through cameras. We'll show you guys close-ups. We're going to give you guys all the detail you want. Now, you're going to notice a couple other things. We do have the 240D, guys, at $109 if you use the discount code at checkout that we just posted in chat as well. So we do have that. We'll actually show you guys that in a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change cameras. We're going to show you guys the table. We got this great lineup of products. And pretty much this is the full family and a great lineup of the decent sized stations. We have the 1000 V2, we have the 1500, we have the 2000 V2. We are showing you guys that 1000 V2. Now, let's bring the camera over and you guys can see that I have a motorized camera. That camera is going to zoom us on in and it's going to bring us on in to that beautiful power station right there. This device does work with the Jackery app. To get the Jackery app, you guys can download it from the Google Play Store or you guys can download it from the Android store. You will literally just type in Jackery and it is going to be the Jackery app. Now, just make sure it's got their Jackery logo and it is their actual app. And then you guys can pair up to pretty much 90% of all of their power stations that are, of course, out there. And it's great that we can power up, connect up to these. Now, with that app, that's going to give you guys access to turn on devices, turn off devices. It's going to allow you to see generation and consumption of power. It's going to allow us to, of course, see what battery percentage is left. It's also going to allow us to have, of course, fun by turning on flashlights as well. Now, with this 24-pound power station, you have 1,070 watt hours of power. That 1,070 watt hours of power can be actually fully charged in a 2-hour time. So standard 2-hour quick charge time. If you want to, you guys can go inside the app, click emergency situation charging, and you guys will now have a 1-hour charge time. So you guys can do that one quick charge time if you really need to. Man, I should have really ironed my shirt before I came on here. I'm starting to see lots of wrinkles. I don't like that. Now, with that quick charge time of 1 hour, you guys could also charge it in about 2.5 hours on a couple solar panels. So let's say you had 2 of the 200 watt solar panels. It's going to be about a 2.5 hour charge time, which is actually a quite fast charge with solar charging on a device of this size. With all of their products, you're going to get a UL drop protected, which is like a UL 2743, where you guys are going to get a UL 94V-0 flame retardant shelling. Now that means you have a drop protection and you have flame retardant protection. Now the drop protection is going to be about 40 to 45 inches. All right, it's definitely a good height that you can drop it and should survive with no issues. This power station, like all of the others, does come with a 5-year warranty. So you do have a 5-year warranty with that, which I love. You're going to get approximately 4,000 to 6,000 charge cycles over the first 10 years at 100% battery capacity. Now, after that first 10 years, you'll still be equipped with about 70% to 80% of its battery capacity even thereon. So you guys will get over 18 years of usage with this, no problem. Now, the device does have multiple outputs or ports on it. You're going to have a 12 volt 10 amp cigarette lighter adapter, and that's that round metal ring variation on the front. You're going to have 2 USB-C ports, a 30 watt port, a 100 watt port, and then you're going to have an 18 watt USB-A port at the bottom. Beside that's going to be 3 AC outlets that do 1500 watts of pure sine wave power, can peak at 3000 if you want to. Above that's going to be, of course, the digital display, and that digital display is approximately about 2 inches in diameter, which is a little over 1.5 inches to 2 inches. It's a decent sized screen. Beside the screen is going to be your flashlight, and that flashlight on this one does 3 modes of lighting: low light, highlight, and SOS pattern, which is actually quite quick for that. And I really do like that it actually can do that quick on hand. Now with the Explorer 1000 V2, guys, you could run quite a bunch of different products, whether it be projectors, Bluetooth speakers, space heaters, laptops, cell phones, maybe camera gear, maybe the stream, maybe Fernando's heated pad for his back that probably don't feel good because he's been sitting up with me the whole time, or there of any other style of device. Because you do have 1500 watts of pure sine wave power, we can peak at 3000. We can plug in larger pieces on top of this. Now, what could we run and how long could we run those devices for? And that's going to vary on what the power range is of the device. So let's say 40 watt heated blanket, about 12 hours of runtime. 200 watt desktop PC will give you about 6 to 6.5 hours of runtime at max 200 watts. Most of your PCs will not always run at that max 200 watts. My gaming PC definitely chews that up and then some. You guys should see my electric bill. You guys can do about 1.5 hours with the coffee machine. Maybe 23 hours with the house fan. You guys could do multiple hours with your flat screen TV if you wanted to as well. You could do about 14 hours with that TV. Or if you want to do like a little mini fridge, about 14 hours of runtime with the mini fridge. 1 week with your Wi-Fi router. So your cable modem that you rent from your cable company or your cable modem that you own personally will give you about a week's runtime off of this device by itself. If you want to do electric chainsaws, circular saws, hand drills, and all of those other things, it will vary around from 40 to 60 minutes, depending on the device you have. So that's where you're going to be with that. Now, yes, 1,070 watt hours of power is actually a good amount of power that should last you quite a bit with this. Pair with some solar panels, and you guys are going to be perfectly well set up. The better part is it is, of course, library quiet, anywhere from 0 to 30 decibels. Now, that 30 decibels that you may hear might be a switch clicking on or a fan clicking on to keep the system cool. Like a lot of their devices, this has got what's considered a UPS or uninterruptible power supply. That power supply will allow you for about 20 milliseconds of switchover, which is actually decently quick for a switchover. I mean, that's quicker than my gaming controller latency. Let's go there. What's up? Welcome to the show. Thank you for popping in. Of course, it's got that safety certification. I already talked about that UL 2743, which I really do like. Now, it's not fireproof. It is flame resistant. So you do have to be kind of cautious with that. Good battery life. Now, by itself, it is a phenomenal product. It's $399.99. That's a 50% savings tonight for said object. Now, you guys can get it in, of course, the Dune colorway. Now, to get it in the Dune colorway, you're going to spend, I think it's like $9 more. But if you guys look at this, this color pattern is actually quite lovely. It's got a great look to it. It's almost as nice as that new, the new First Responders color pattern. And I'm going to tell you, Fernando, if you're listening in, that new color pattern for the First Responders, I actually really love that color pattern. Those red machines are phenomenally beautiful. I love that you guys kind of did a little bit of something for them. So just like that, guys, we have the Sand Dune colorway. $409 for this variation. That's still a 51. It's like a 51% savings. This one costs like $30 more than the original colorway. Not a lot of differences. I'm just going to go there with it. It's just a color pattern of this. And, of course, that color pattern cost a little more to make and create the plastics for it. So totally understand. But beautiful, beautiful station. Love that color pattern. If you want to, though, you guys can also get it with solar panel packaging. So if you want to get like the 1000 V2 with, I think it's the 200 watt solar panel for approximately, I don't want to misspeak on the price. I believe the price is like $599. So you're going to get the 200 watt solar panel, the device itself, 54% savings if I can remember off the top of my head. But $599.99. Normally that's like a $1,300 price tag. So you're saving quite a bit for that 200 watt panel. The crazy part is, and we throw it in there just so you guys have an option, if you want to get it with two of the 100 watt solar panels, you guys will be spending a little bit more, but you have, of course, a more spread out variation with this. So $721 for the 1000 V2 with two of the 100 watt solar panels. Not a bad deal. What that kind of gives you the option of is, let's say part of your yard has a good amount of sun, but you have another part of the yard that also has another good part of the sun. You can set those panels off in two different areas and you should be good. As in where if you have a single 200 watt panel, you're stuck in one place, and then if the sun moves, you got to move it, and so on and so on. So that's why we throw it in there for, of course, options for you. Just want to make sure that you guys have all of your bases covered. We are now going to show you guys a larger power station. We're going to talk about the 3600 Plus. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a few things. You know what? Let's kind of go here. I'm going to block that off. We actually have a video. I think I have a video I can show you guys of this that they created. Actually, I don't. You know what? We're going to skip that video. I was going to show you guys that video, but you know what? We're going to talk about it real quick. The 3600 Plus, this is considered a home power station, or the HP 3600P. Now, the HP 3600P is meant more geared towards your home power situations, but this one does have a wheels, so you can move it around if you want to. It's got expandability, so you guys can add batteries. It's going to be more geared towards your long usages. As in where like the 1000 V2 would be great for, small emergencies, shorter periods of times, and stuff like this. This is going to be geared towards longer run times. Maybe you want to run your camp for the weekend, or you guys want to watch outside movies all weekend, or that of the sorting. You should be able to do that off of this without having to recharge it. But if you want to recharge it or add batteries, you guys are going to have a longer runtime with that. Now we're going to jump over here. We're going to change camera views, and you guys are going to see we have both of these two amazing power stations. We have the 3600 Plus. We have the 5000 Plus. Now this is a 77-pound station. That is a 132-pound power station. So you guys can kind of get the grasp of the weighting of these. Now, with that kind of being said, if I back up, you guys are going to see my ugly red shorts and my knee, and you guys are going to see the size difference. So This is, it's got a good size difference, but you do have wheels, so most of the time people are worried that they're not going to be able to move this, and that's the cool part. If I grab my two fingers, I can tip it, I can roll it. It's got great leverage, so you do not have to worry about, hey, am I going to be able to take this somewhere or not? You guys will be totally fine for that. Now, with that, handle goes away. You guys can put it away. You guys can see the carbon fiber pattern on the top, and you guys will also see the bright orange handles as well. On the front of this device, you're going to have your first set of outlets. So that's what we're going to kind of move down there. We're going to kind of bring you guys in a little bit closer. We're going to definitely kind of do this. Ignore the white stripe inside the screen, guys. That's actually a cable running the camera, so I did not realize that the reflection was there. Now with this, of course, you have the handles. You have your first TTR30 or 30 amp NEMA style plug. That is 120 watts, so you guys are limited to 120 there. You're going to have your larger display, so this is considered almost a 2.5 to 3 inch display. You're going to have two USB-C ports, 100 watts max of charging. You're also going to have two 18-watt max charging USB-A ports. You're going to have 4 more AC outlets. Now, these 4 AC outlets do 3,600 watts of pure sine wave power. This battery capacity on this device alone is 3,584 watt hours of power. So you do have a nice large battery capacity with this. Your charge time on this device will vary depending on how you're charging it. 2.5 hours on a wall plug by itself. 4 hours if you had 1,000 watts of solar charging capability with the panels. If you want to use the solar panels and the wall charging together, 2-hour time frame is where you're going to be at with this. Now, all of those 5 AC outlets will allow you to do 3,600 watts of sine wave power. You guys can peek over that if you truly need to. The NEMA style plug, or the TTR30, the 30 amp plug, will actually allow you to connect up to a manual transfer station, or it also will allow you to connect up to your motorhome or toy haulers to run the electric circuit breaker box in those. So if you guys are taking your motorhome camping or your fifth wheels and all of that, you guys can plug that into this and run those off of this, instead of using those funky electrical boxes that the campsites offer you. Like most people, if you guys have a circuit breaker protector that you take with you to plug into those, you understand why, because some of those plugs can surge and kind of mess up your electronics. I mean, when you're dropping, let's say $100,000 or more on a, mobile home or a camper or something like that, you want to protect it. Well, this will do that for you because you never have to actually plug into their stuff. You guys can plug into this. Better part is to strap some solar panels to the roof of your motorhome, and you are, of course, recharging. Now, besides the front ports, you're going to have more ports on the side. You're going to have, of course, the AC expansion port. Now, the AC expansion port is going to be meant for linking to a second 3600 plus. You're going to have a DC expansion port. Now, the DC expansion port is for linking up to 5 batteries. Timberwolf, what's up? Welcome to the show. Now, like I said, the DC plug is going to allow you to connect up to 5 batteries. When you connect up to 5 batteries, it's 21 kilowatts of power, which is a crazy amount of power for you to have. Now, the better part about that is if you link it with the second system and 10 batteries, you're going to have about 42 kilowatts of power. You're going to have 2 solar panel 80/20 adapters. That's going to be your little round plugs right down there, or your wall plug charger at the bottom. And that's your standard 3-prong American-style outlet plug. Now, most of us know what those are from like our computers and our old-school fans and other devices. This device does have what's called 10 milliseconds of a UPS switchover, so it drops down from the standard 20 milliseconds on their devices to 10 milliseconds. This is also one of the first created with Therm Duro technology. Now, your Therm Duro technology is going to allow you to, of course, protect the cells protect your cells It's also going to allow you to run at like -4 degree weather, all the way up to 113 or so degree weather without having issues with the batteries. Now, if you are running colder than that or hotter than that, you may lose a trickle charge with this, or vice versa. Really cold temperatures will kind of drain batteries, same as the hot temperatures will kind of mess with your batteries as well. You should be able to run 1150 watt window AC off of this for at least 2.5 to 3 hours, no issues. Now, you might get a longer runtime off of that if you're running less than a 10,000 BTUs. So let's go here. If you're running a 10,000 BTU window AC and you have it down at 60 degrees, you're going to get about a 2.5 hour to 3 hour charge. If you have it at 70 degrees, you'll probably get a longer runtime with that. This will have enough power to run your 100 watt to 200 watt refrigerator for at least a day to 2 days, depending on which one you're running. You will be able to get 5 washers out of this. So let's say your dishwasher or washer machine should be able to get 5 runs out of this device by itself. 5 watt light bulb, about 120 hours with that is where you're going to go. 200 watt desktop PC, you're going to get a good runtime with that. It's just going to definitely be kind of vary with how you're using it, what you're using it for. Like a 330 watt rice cooker, about 7.5 hours ish. Maybe 40 hours with the flat screen TV. You guys could probably do, I'm going to say 86 hours with the Wi-Fi router or modem. So you do have that variations of devices you can do. 60 watt electric water pump. That's going to be like your sump pumps. So let's say your house is prone to getting slight flooding in the basement and you're tired of the water collecting up. Your standard old sump pump doesn't work. Plug in your electric pump into this if the power's out, and it will give you about 36 hours of runtime, which is actually quite decent. Now, most of those pumps are a single piston style pump, so that's going to be your variations. Now, price point on this device is going to be $1,424 just by itself. Now, $1,424, that is a 49% savings. Now, depending on, I think this one's actually sold and shipped by Amazon. So that's going to be kind of your listing for that one. So if it was technically sold and shipped from Jackery, you guys could use that discount. This one's sold and shipped by Amazon. So you won't be able to. If you want to step it up, you guys can get the 3600 plus with 2 of the 200 watt solar panels for about $2,039, if I can remember correctly. Guys, I am trying to memorize and keep these numbers on the top of my head, but I had to do other shows today, so I might misspeak slightly. So $2,039 would be the price for this and those 2 solar panels, which you're partially there on a great kit and a phenomenal kit for the price. I'm always going to gear you guys towards the full kit. So, and this is where we're going to go here. I'm going to recommend the full kit always. That's going to be this station, a battery, and 2 solar panels. Now, the reason I always gear that towards you is, you have the part of the solar panels you need to keep it running at a very quick time. You're going to have the battery to extend the runtime. You don't have to always use the battery. You guys could set the battery aside just for emergencies and just use this as well. Now, with that, you guys have a great kit, and you now have 7,168 watt hours of power with that. Now, the variation, what I'm going to say is, you don't have to leave this hooked up at home. A lot of people are like, oh, it's home power. Yeah, it definitely is home power, but because it's got wheels, it's got handles, you guys can take it to the cabin, the camping trip. You guys can put it in your motorhomes. You guys can put it in your RVs. You can take it camping. You guys can pretty much take it wherever you need to. Maybe your mother or your mother-in-law's house is without power. This would allow you to roll it into your vehicle, take it out of your vehicle, roll it into their house, and you would get them up and running in no time. So you have 3 different options there. By itself, $1,424 with 2 of the 200 watt solar panels, $2,039, or if you want the full kit with the extra battery, $3,059 would be your price tag. Some of the devices I have actually ran off of this. My movie projector, and I have a short throw movie projector. I have Bluetooth speakers in there. I have a Nintendo Switch and all of that other stuff. I have ran this with that without an issue. I've used this to run workout equipment like electric elliptical and small steppers. So you guys can do that as well. So it's not just saying, hey, I want to run my refrigerator if the power goes out. This has a wide variety of different usages, whether it be a table saw in your garage or, running all of Fernando's lights and computers at home. Variations of that. So you can do more than just what we recommend. So phenomenal, great little option. If you guys need, remember, perfect for you. What are we going to be? So I believe up next we're going to be moving to the 2000 V2. This is going to be a $749 price tag. But before we go that, I kind of bring up the app and the app accessorization, or what you guys can do with the app. With that being said, I'm going to pop up the app. You guys can see it just went green or orange, and I want to turn on a flashlight. You guys see the flashlight come on behind me. I'm going to go a little bit brighter with that. I'm going to hit SOS pattern where I can say, hey, I need help. Or I can shut it back off. If I want to turn on the digital display, I can turn on the digital display with this. Now, by doing that, we're going to jump across the table. We're going to turn on this bad boy right here. We're going to bring you guys on in. This is a 39-pound power station, so it weighs a little bit more than the 1000 V2, but it also has twice the battery range, or the battery capacity, than the 1000 V2. Now, right there is your digital display. You guys see it says about 31% battery left. We've been using the lights on this all week and then some off of that station. I want to shut that screen off. I can shut it off. 2,042 watt hours of power inside this 39-pound package. Now, with that 2,042 watt hours, you guys can actually have it fully charged in a 2-hour period. So standard, quick, 2-hour charge time. That's where you guys are going to be at with that. You're up and running. Bob's your uncle, and you don't have to worry about it no more. You have the phenomenal little battery capacity set up for every usage you could think of. Now, the better part with this one is you guys could use it for so much. It doesn't have to just be, like random stuff. Now, I'm going to get up here and I'm going to kind of point to a few things. Here is your flashlight, right? Your 3 AC outlets, your USB-C 30, your USB-C 100, your 18 watt, and your 12 volt to amp. All individually switched, so if I want to shut it off, I can shut it off. If I want to hit it, I can turn it on with that. Now, with the device, it's going to take your standard 2 hours to charge it on a wall plug. You're good to go. If you want to change that out and you guys want to kind of step it up a little bit more, you guys could step it up a little bit more. That's no problem. You guys can charge it at a 1-hour charge time with emergency situation charging. So you're just variations of how you're doing it, what you're doing it with. Now, also with this being said, you do have that 30 watt USB-C port, 100 watt USB-C port, 18 watt USB-A port, 12 volt 10 amp plug above it, and the flashlight does 3 modes of lighting. You have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectability, so you guys can pair it up to your mobile devices or your tablets or even your laptops if you download the app. So you guys do have, those options with you. Now, also with this, of course, if you need to, you have the 3 AC outlets. Now, the 3 AC outlets on this one does 2,200 watts of pure sine wave power. With that, you guys can actually peak and go above and beyond it with a 4,400 surge. Now, with 4,400 surge, you guys are going to be doing like more raw power devices. So if you need to, like electric saws, your hand saws, your weed eaters, or your welding machines. Chucky, what's up? Welcome to the show, buddy. How are you doing this evening? Now, with this amount of power, you should be able to run a 200-watt desktop PC for at least 12 hours. So that's where you guys are going to be at with that one. So you have about 12 hours of runtime with the PC. 50 to 60 cell phone charges is kind of where you're going to be at with this one. So you could charge your phone, no problem. Great period of charge time with that without an issue. Now, you guys just noticed we are now under 31%, so we were at 30% battery capacity. We're actually using that battery up. You should have enough power to run your 1150 watt window AC off of this for at least 2 hours. Now, 1150 watt window AC is considered a 10,000 BTU window AC. I use a 10,000 watt window AC in here. You guys probably saw it last night, which is kind of funny. We used it on one of the larger stations. This does have all the capacities that you could ever want at a $749 price tag. That is actually a 50% savings. Normally a $1,500 price tag machine with this as well. So kind of a great option. So let's kind of go. You guys could do your espresso machine for like 3 hours. You guys could do your refrigerator for over 20 hours. You could do about 60, 64 hours with your 5-watt light bulb if you needed to. I actually did a whole video of me gaming with it, so you guys can definitely game with that. I don't know. Do I have? Let's see if I have that video. I don't know if I have it laying here. So if I have the video of it gaming, I would definitely. I'm checking my folder. That's why I switched scenes, guys. Usually there's a whole folder of the 2000 V2s in action, and I don't have that folder here. So I do apologize. I thought I was going to be able to show it to you. So I did a whole gaming PC, dual monitors, of course, everything on it, and it ran just fine. For the... What's up, Phil? What's up, buddy? If you work on a works out in a workshop, or if you guys work on if you guys are working on houses and you're making messes and you need to use a shop vac, this should run a shop vac for at least 2.5 hours, no problem. So you should be able to get all that sawdust, dirt, and grime off of the floor before the homeowners get home or before your wife gets home. And a sip of water. Electric grills, tree trimmers. You have the capabilities to run those on top of this. So you do have that. Single piston air compressor, guys, or air pumps, about 20 hours. It's going to be the same with the single piston water pumps, about 20 hours of runtime. So you do have a good variety of things that could run off of the 2000 V2 right here. No problems whatsoever. Guess what? You're at work. I gotcha. I'm at work. I'm even fidgeting around with, this beautiful little stylus pen that I've somehow picked up off the floor. Now, you guys can also get the 2000 V2 with, of course, solar panel options. So if you want to get it with 2 of the 200-watt solar panels, it's going to be a $1,100 and I think it's $1,139. So $1,139.05. I think, if I can remember correctly. About 23 to 24% savings with that. Prime Day number 2, dude. We've been going since Monday, buddy. Mondays. Yeah, it would definitely be good for that. The only thing I do warn you about is if you're using it for a system as an admin at home for like your computers and stuff. It is a 20 milliseconds to switch over if you're using it as a UPS. Now, yes, most of those devices will work completely free. You'll see a slight flicker, so you're not a big thing. If you're using this to, mine crypto, that little flicker may mess up your script. So you may want to get, the larger one, like the 3600 or the 5000. The 3600 is a 10 milliseconds. The 5000 is a 0 milliseconds. But yeah, I mean, it's perfect. It's got a handle. It can be moved from room to room. Oh, yeah. And I've used it for I've used it for different stuff. I've plugged a microwave into this. I've used a fridge. I even did. Let's go over here. I can show you guys. I can show you guys this one. I do know I have this. So like I did a whole bunch of Christmas decor at my friend's house. This is where I took it to do that. So you guys can see 87% battery. I turned it on. It's going to start pumping up to about 116 watts or so. Now you're going to notice that the time is going to drop down to about 13 to 13 and a half hours of runtime off that. It is running, I believe it's like 9 to 10 inflatable decorations and multiple sets of different styles of Christmas lights. So you definitely can do quite a bit with that at home. So if you're trying to do like your Christmas decorations and stuff, this will work that no problem whatsoever. So it's just a great option with that. Yeah, and if you guys see what Phil just posted, you should check that out. I can't mention it, but you guys should check that out because there's an option for something there. Hey, thanks, Phil. So just great two ideas. You guys get the station by itself, or you guys get the station with solar panels. I always recommend, again, as a kit, if you already have the solar panels, totally understand why you don't need the solar panels in the kit. But hey, you can never have enough panels. Ooh, 1 day left. 1 day left. That's not a lot of time, buddy. Not a lot of time. All right, we're moving into the realm of a $109 product if you guys use the discount code that we have for you today. Now, I'm going to share this code around here for everybody first and foremost. So I do want to share this to everybody. And then I'm going to grab the other code, which is going to give you guys this next product at $109. So Fernando did give me that code somewhere. Let's see if I can grab that. There's that code for you guys as well. So we're going to share that. And you guys can actually use that code right there. Now that code is going to be used for this next product, the handheld device. Now this is the 240D. Now the 240D is just one of those products that pulls me in, and there's a reason. I really, really loved, and I'm going to say it, the 1000 or the 100 plus. Now the 100 plus was probably about this large, right? The 100 plus was one of those crazy, beautiful stations that I could travel with without a problem. It had a good amount of power, but it didn't have this amount of power. Now this is the 240D. It's 256 watt hours of power, or 80,000 milliamps. Now, as in where the 100 plus had to be under 99 watt hours of power to travel with on an airplane, this one, it's not going to go on the airplane with you. It can go under the airplane probably, but not on the airplane. Now, this is a very, very beautiful 4.5 pound power station. So it is still very light. And you guys can see I do twist and twirl this quite a bit, and there's a reason for that. Because the handle is not only a handle with this. Now, with the 240D, the handle does turn into your charging cable. So you do have the charging cable device with this. So you have a USB-C to USB-C cable. It is a 140 watt capable cable. It is braided, and it will last, and I'm going to say it, over 10,000 bends easily. You do not have to worry about this cable, with that being said. Now, to charge said device, it's going to take about 2.5 hours, or less or more, depending on how you do it. Through the 140 watt wall charger, you're going to have a little under 2.5 hours. If you're using the DC plug in your car, about 4.5 hours. So you guys can kind of see the variation. If you're using solar panels, guys, it's going to be a little over 2.5 hours, and that's it, but not bad for you. Digital display, like all of their stations, you guys are going to have a 100 watt USB-C port, a 15 watt USB-C port, and 15 watt USB-A port, and then the 140 watt bi-directional port with this one. Now, the bi-directional port is going to allow you to charge it or other devices through that plug at all times. So that's a bi-directional in and out charge with this. Beautifully well done. If you had a mini 40 solar panel, you should be able to charge this in approximately 7 hours. If you had a 100-watt solar panel, it's going to be about a 4 hour or 3.5 to 4 hour charge time. Now, you guys can get those with those kits if you want to, or you guys can get this alone. It should have enough power in it to run your Nintendo Switch for about 36 hours with a portable monitor. Those portable monitors take no power whatsoever to run, and that is like a 15-inch, laptop screen. If you want to, though, it is. It is definitely small. 4.5 pounds. It is lightweight. And the better part is like I said, you can pair it with a 2-pound solar panel, and you'll have a 6.5 pound package. So 6.5 pounds. This is a great package to carry off into the campground, or vice versa. Now, this solar panel, it's actually quite larger than you would think. So with that, you guys can, just right there, hop up, pop in, and of course start charging. Now, fully waterproof, water resistant solar panel, which would work well with this. So 6.5 pounds, that's lightweight. Even your kid can carry that up. It's perfect. It's not just the perfect camping device. This would be great for like kids in college. So if you're ever worried about your kid having a power outage and not being able to reach out to you, or you're worried about your kid not having, lighting, whatever, this would actually allow for those devices to kind of run like you're there to charge your cell phones. Anywhere from 12 to 15 cell phone charges off of this, depending on the phone you have. So nice, perfect, beautiful. It's got the silicone pads on the bottom with it. So great little option. Yeah, it really is. It would be a great camping gift. And at $109 tonight, if you use that code that we have, that's a crazy price point. So if you need, definitely check that out. Now, for those of you on the other chats, we are live over here as well, so that is where our main stream is going to. So if you guys want to pop over there and everything, you can. It is going to be... Phil, can you reshare that code for to them, please? I'd appreciate that, Phil. Phil can do that job, buddy. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that, Phil. It's going to be that code. And you will have to go over to Amazon and you'll have to input it on Amazon for that to actually work. No problem. Now, if you guys have seen the original Explorer 300, it was a phenomenal power station as it was. It had multiple AC outlets. It had, of course, a USB-C port. Had 2 USB-A ports. I had a DC plug, 12 volt 10 amp style. Jackery wasn't happy. They were like, nope, this isn't going to cut it. Like, they got gears grinding, smoke started flying. They were just, like, wait a minute. We need to do something a little bit more to this one. Now, they left it like it was, what it looked like, but they changed up a few things to it. And I love that they changed it up slightly. First and foremost, it is still small. So it is a 7.5 pound power station. Originally it was 7.1 pounds. So it's like a quarter pound or so more. It's not a lot of weight added to this. Second, they changed out the lithium battery, so it is now a LiFePO4 cell system. Second, they said, hey, let's leave that handle on there because James likes to use it as a weight to curl weights. And it's funny that I will sit here and I will fidget with this like this quite a bit. And Jackery's like, all right, we don't want to mess with James. Let's keep him going, right? No, just mess around. But on the front, you still have that digital display. They changed the color pattern of the digital display to a black background with high orange viz, as in where the original was just white and black. They did keep the 12 volt 10 amp DC plug. They have the same 2 AC outlets, but they changed it slightly. It's 300 watts pure sine wave power, 600 max now. You're going to have two 15-watt USB-A ports. As in where before it was only 5-volt, 2.4 amps, it is now 15. You also went from a 60-watt USB-C port to a 100-watt USB-C port. Now that 100-watt USB-C port is a bi-directional port. This device is actually on sale for about $189 tonight. Normally it's $260. Now with this, you have enough power to run quite a bit. You have 292 watt hours of power in this device. Now, 292 watt hours of power is enough to charge anywhere from 15 to 18 cell phone charges, depending on the phone. It's enough power to run your Nintendo Switch for 40 hours with no issues. It is also enough power to charge 10 DSLR batteries. It's going to be your larger DSLR batteries. Maybe you want to charge your laptop 3.5 times. This would do that, no issues whatsoever. Now, for your CPAP machine users, you might get anywhere from, I'm going to kind of say, anywhere from 9 hours to 23 hours. If you guys are using a CPAP machine without the heated mask, you might get 9 hours. If you're using a 10-watt CPAP machine, you might get 23 hours. If you're using the heated mask variation, you might get 5 hours of runtime with that. Is enough power to run your Wi-Fi router for probably 30 hours or so. You guys could do your flat screen TV for 4 to 4.5 hours. Like the one back there that kind of froze and jumping around. I don't know what's up with that TV. No, you will not be able to run a hairdryer off of this, Brook. Unfortunately, your hairdryers are around 1,100 to 1,500 watts of power. To run a hairdryer properly, you're going to need a large system. So like the 2000 V2 or so. I mean, yes, the 1000 V2 could run it, but you might get 20 to 25 minutes of runtime. Those are very, very powerful, power-hungry dryers. So yeah, the 300 would not cut it. Yes, it's just one of those things. And we have tested it. With the hair dryer, it will actually shut this down. Yeah, not a problem. I mean, if you really want to run a hair dryer, try like the 2000 V2. It's definitely a larger system, but it could run it. The 1000 V2 can definitely run it as well. The 1500 could run it. And those are actually decently priced. Like the 1000 V2 is $399.99 right now. So it's not a bad price. It's like 50% off. But definitely, yeah, the 300 would not cut a hair dryer. I've actually tried. I even tried plugging in my wife's KitchenAid mixer, and it's a no-go. I've been asked that so many times. I actually tested it on multiple stations to see what could kick on, what would run, and what would not run it. Now, with this device, like I said, you guys could do like, I'm going to say like your house fan. You might get 6 to 9 hours with the house fan off of this, but you do have the variations. Like all of their stations, they do have the silicone pads on the bottom with that, so you guys are good there. Matthew, I do appreciate the follow. But phenomenal, phenomenal product. This thing is perfectly well done. I mean, 600 max wattage through the AC outlets if you need to. 300 is where you guys are going to be perfect at. It's so clean, pure sine wave. None of your electronics will get finicky. Still, 5-year warranty with it. And like I said, you guys can pair it with a solar panel. Now, if you guys want to pair it with the Mini 40, go ahead and do so. Again, this is, it's like 9.5 pounds total weight between these two pieces. Add the cables that are included. You might have an 11-pound package. So just a great little option for camping, quick emergencies, and all of those other styles. Maybe you're a photographer and you just want to run some lighting out in the woods. This would do that as well. So that is the 300, guys. Phenomenal product and a great upgrade that they did to it. You guys could also get it with the carrying bag, I believe it is. And the carrying bags, that package is like $239. Carrying bag is waterproof, dust resistant. It's going to allow you to carry it and all the cabling around without a problem. All right, we're now going to move over to one of their newer products. You probably see it up over that shoulder, right there, right behind my finger. This is the 500 V2. Now, the original 500 was an amazing piece of technology. Again, Jackery being Jackery, hey, let's redesign it, let's make it better, and that's what they did. Now, by doing that, we're going to move up to the top. You guys are going to see both of those 500s. The original 500 has a handle. It has a single AC outlet. It has 3 USB-A ports. You know, it was a phenomenal product. It had a great amount of power. It weighed approximately 12 pounds. Now, with that being said, Jackery was like, hey, let's do better. Let's redesign it. And they did. They made it smaller. They made it 12.5 pounds. So you have a 12.5 pound power station. They also created it into lithium LiFePO4 cells. So you now have the newer chemical mixture of the battery. You went from 1 AC outlet to 2 of those. They're going to do 500 watts of pure sine wave power, 1,000 peak with this. So you can do 1,000 peak. Flashlight does 2 modes, standard lighting or SOS pattern. You're going to have the 100 watt USB-C port, 30 watt USB-C port, 15 watt USB-A port, or 18 watt USB-A port, and you're going to have the 12 volt 10 amp plug plus digital display. Now, this does not have the app control. Unfortunately, there's no app control on this one. Not a big deal. I mean, you really don't need the app control on everything. This one just doesn't have it. But what it does have is energy saving mode switch. So you guys can switch the energy saving mode on. By switching that on, you guys will have a longer runtime. It's just going to cut back the amount of power that comes out of it. So that's kind of where you're with this one. Your charge time is actually very, very decent on this one. So you guys can actually charge it pretty quick with no problems. Now, your charge time, I'm going to go here. If you're charging it off a wall plug, you're going to be a little bit like an hour to hour and 5 minutes fully charged. If you're using a 100 watt solar panel, 3.5 hours to 4.5 hours, right? So that's where you're going to be at with that. It is only 12 inches long by about 6 inches tall, about 8 inches deep. So actually quite small. Should have enough power to charge your cell phone at least 20 to 24 times. You'll be able to get about 4.5 laptop charges off of it. That's going to be like your 80 watt laptops, guys. That's not going to be your Asus ROGs. It's not going to be your Alienware laptops and stuff like that, your gaming style. Those are actually more power. This has enough power to run your flat screen TV for about 9 hours. It'll be the same about your tower fans if you have it on max fan speed. Your car refrigerator, those are going to run about anywhere from 12 to 18 hours on this device. Your CPAP machine will give you over 9 hours of runtime with the heated mask. Without the heated mask, you might get a full day or two with that, and that's going to be like a 10 watt to 15 watt CPAP machine. Most of those CPAP machines are around 30 to 40 watts or so, just depending. So you do have a wide variety. Now, with the 500 V2, I've ran a few other things. It's funny. You'll still see the stickers on this because I haven't pulled the sticker off. I only had a few chances to run a few different things over the past week since I've gotten it. So that's kind of where I'm at. Now, 3 watt light bulb, 40 to 48 hours of runtime. 21 21 DSLR batteries, maybe 7 to 8 hours with the heated blanket. It's a little bit less runtime than your flat screen TV because it's a little bit more power than your TV as well with that one. For all of the others, guys, it is a phenomenal product. It's going to do very, very well for you. Do not think it's not. $299 is the price tag. It's a 33% savings. You guys can get it with, I think it's the 100-watt solar panel for like $459. So you guys are getting a great bifacial solar panel. That solar panel weighs approximately, I think it's like 7 pounds. So total weight's going to be about 18 to 20 pounds, right? So not a bad amount of weight between the two pieces. Just phenomenal, right there. So you have that capabilities. Again, with the products, 5-year warranty, so don't worry about it. Jackery said, hey, no, we're going to take care of you. So they did give you guys a 5-year warranty. Now we are going to move into the realm of their first and fully waterproof power station. Now, when we talk about this is IP65 water rated. So it is waterproof and water resistant with this device. So you do not have to worry about it. It can be used outside. You guys could set it in the snow. It's not going to hurt the device. Now you're going to have 1,536 watt hours of power that can be fully charged in an hour and a half. So an hour and a half time, I can have 1,536 watt hours of power ready for me on the go. And an hour and a half is not that long of a runtime whatsoever. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to back this up. We're going to bring the camera down just a little bit. We're going to change views, and you guys are going to see that I kind of moved a little too far. This is that device. Now, this is also their very first device that's fully encapsulated. And what do I mean by that? There is no air vents anywhere on it, so it had to have a fan system. Now, I'm going to kind of get up and kind of show you guys a few different things about this product. Where the fan system is, and all of that being said. First, I'm going to move the bigger power station since I almost walked into it. So this bottom part where I'm pointing on down, this is the fan system. This part of the housing is removable. There are 4 different screws inside these legs, and it's going to pop this plate off, and there's a fan under there. That fan is washable, so if it gets dirty, you guys can wash it with you still have their beautiful large display right here. Their logo is a little bit different. It's almost like a badge now with a different colorway. You're going to have a 12-volt 10-amp plug. You're going to have 2 80-20 DC plugs. You're going to have the wall plug, which is going to be, I think this is 100 volts at 15 amps max. You're going to have a 30-watt, 100-watt, and an 18-watt USB Then you're going to have the 3 1800-watt USB or the AC outlets. Underneath these plugs are where you're going to see all of these ports. So you do have plugs and covers. Now, those covers are actually quite important. It's going to help keep it protected from the elements and, of course, with that. And since the way it's created, when you plug it in, that rubber is also going to help keep the rain from dripping down the plugs, which I like. Still has full app control, so you do have app control with this device. I can turn on every switch inside the app, so we are good there. Now, you do have a very, very quick charge time with the hour and a half charge rate with this. Now, here's where it's going to get kind of cool. 1,536 watt hours of power should be enough power to run a lot of different products without an issue, depending on what you want to plug into it, what you want to run, and how you want to run it. So let's say you want to do 40 hours with the heated blanket. No problem, guys. That 40-watt heated blanket will run that. Be the same as your heated sleeping bag while you're camping. You guys could do, I'm going to say 12 to 14 hours with a movie projector, like a 100-watt movie projector. A couple days with your refrigerator, 26 plus hours with your 30-watt light bulb. If you guys are using a 5-watt light bulb, you guys can triple that runtime with no problems. 50 to 55 hours with your Wi-Fi router. Your Starlink Mini, that's going to be like a 15-watt Starlink Mini. If you guys have the larger one, that's going to be about a 40-watt runtime or a 40-watt power system. So your 15-watt Starlink Mini should give you around 50 hours of runtime, as in where the 40-watt one is going to be, of course, less runtime with that. If you want to do hand drills, angle grinders, leaf blowers, guys, it's got enough power to do it. 1800 watts of pure sound wave power, 3600 if you need to. So you have that little bit of peak over that. Still 5-year warranty. This one's got a level 9 seismic shockproof. So you have a higher drop resistance to this. So if you drop it, it's going to stay fine. You don't have to worry about this product. So like I said, IP65 resistant, beautiful little piece. Paired up with some solar panels, you guys will be very happy. By itself, it's $899. If you want to get it with a couple of the 100 prime panels, it's going to be like $1,219. If you want to get it with, I think it's 2 of the 200 watt panels, it's like $1,449. So there are different variations of the prices and kits for you. You guys want to get it with just a single 100 watt panel, it's like $1,160. So, do your due diligence, check out what you want to get, how you want to get it with that. It's just the variations of. So, any questions about any product we have shown thus far? Always ask. Timber, thank you for the follow over there. Chucky, what's cracking, buddy? What's going on, Chucky? Guys, don't mind me. Allergies have kicked in. I need a cough drop. That's one of them days. All right, we're going to move to a larger system. This is going to be considered a home power station. What do I consider a home power station? This is going to be more geared towards I'm not moving it around a lot, okay? It has no wheels. If you want to get it with the dolly, they actually offer a dolly variation, which, Jackery, I don't have the dolly, but that's just one of those things. Daniel, thank you for the follow as well. This device is going to come in at about $1,099. So it does have a little bit of a more steep price tag. But not a big deal. It's not a lot, honestly. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move down from the 1500 and we're going to show you guys what we're talking about. That is the Jackery Home Power 3000. Now, the Jackery Home Power 3000 is... I think it's like, I can't remember, I think it's like 60 pounds or something like that. This device has 3,072 watt hours of power inside this device. It's going to have 2 100 watt USB-C ports, 2 18 watt USB-A ports. You're going to have that 12 volt 10 amp plug that we just showed. You're going to have full app control, which Android users, iOS users, everybody can use and get for free. You're going to have 5 AC outlets. You're going to have 4 standard, and then you're going to have that 30 amp NEMA style TTR30. They are all going to do 3,600 watts of pure sine wave power, can peak at 7,200 if you guys really need to go above and beyond it. This device can be fully charged in 2.25 hours. So 2 hours and 20 minutes or 2 hours and 25 minutes. You'll be fully charged on a wall plug, no problem. If you only had, and I'm going to go here, 400 watts of solar panels, 2 of the 200 watt panels, it's 11-hour charge time. If you had 6 of those solar 200 watt panels, you would have like a 4.5 hour charge time. Drops way down there, right? Now, if you use the wall plug charging and solar panel together, it's going to be under 2 hours, fully charged. Bob, your uncle, and Phil is up and running and mowing his lawn with his electric lawnmower. Because it's got all of these plugs and the capability of all of that, you guys can actually run a refrigerator for like 2 to 3 days. You guys could run a 5 watt light bulb 9 to 10 days, no problem. You could run your 45 watt house fan for about 60 hours. You guys could do your Wi-Fi router for multiple days or weeks if you truly wanted to. It does have 20 milliseconds of switchover, so you do have a slight latency, but not enough that's going to hurt anything. you're going to be able to run a 330 watt rice cooker for over 6 hours. You guys could do an 800 watt oven for about 3 hours. That means you guys can get all of that pizza done baking before the power goes out or before your battery goes dead. Coffee machines. Now I'm going to go here. Espresso machines. An espresso machine might get you an hour and a half to 2 hours on this device. Raymond, hello. How are you doing? 50 watt fan, 60 hours, guys. You can do 60 watt TVs for about, I'm going to say 30 to 35 hours with the 60 watt TV. You guys want to run a weed eater, like a 200 or 2200 watt weed eater, about 3 hours of runtime with this. So you can do it. It's just going to be limited about where you guys can run. Now, most of those lawnmowers don't run at full max unless you guys are really, really cutting that grass. Should be able to do about 305 watt GoPro batteries. So if you guys have a 5 watt style battery, so about 300 charges with that or so. Guys, phenomenal product and actually a really great price. Like $1,099 is a phenomenal price for this. Normally it's a $1,300 price tag. If you want to get it as a package deal, you guys could step it up. You guys can get it as a package deal. You can get it with 2 of the 200 watt solar panels for like $1,600. So you do have options out there for you. So if you guys are looking, definitely check out the 3000. We are going to bounce back. We're going to talk about one of their largest stations, and I'm going to go into depth with this one. The next power station that we're about to mention is the 5000 Plus. Now, the Jackery Explorer or Jackery Home Power 5000 Plus is geared towards those of you that want to run your whole home off of the grid. So this is like a great off-the-grid beginner setup. And then it can turn into the full off-the-grid living if you add batteries and everything else in between with this. It is 132 pounds of weight. So with the size and weight, you might be worried about, can I move it around? And again, you guys should be able to move this device around without any issues whatsoever. Now back here is, of course, the 3000 and the 5000. You guys can see 77 pound power station, 132 pounds. There's quite a difference in sizing. Even though there is quite a difference in sizing, I can take 2 fingers, grab this handle, tip it without a problem, and roll it forwards and back. So I have no problems moving this around. It is leveraged perfectly with this handle. Drop that handle, hide it away if I need to. I can grab these handles, I can pick up the weight, pick it off the ground, and move it. I do recommend team lifting. Don't do what I just did because you might throw your back out and then you'll be laying up in bed all day for the next couple days. With this, you guys have that beautiful logo. You're going to have that large display. We're going to bring you guys in closer than that. So let's bring you guys into the front of this panel. 2 100 watt USB-C ports. 2 18 watt USB-A ports. 12 volt 10 amp DC plug that's individually switched. You have your own power button, you have your own AC buttons, you have your own DC buttons, and you're going to have another AC button over here as well. The first of your AC outlets, you have 4 of the 7200 watt pure sine wave AC outlets on this 5000 power station. You're going to have 5,040 watt hours of power in this device. So 5 kilowatts of power is where you're kind of at with that. Going to get into this, going to talk about it. We're going to go more into depth with this because this thing is beautifully, beautifully well done. Besides all of these front connecting ports with the 7200 watts pure sine wave power and the AC outlets of the USB-Cs and the USB-As, you have more ports on this than any of the other stations that they offer. Now we're going to kind of do this. So when I do that, we're going to tip it, we're going to roll it, we're going to slide it to the side. You're going to see your first top port. This is an AC expansion port. Now this AC expansion port is for linking to a second system or to connect up to what they call the smart transfer station. Now, Jackery created this extremely smart but very beautifully well done electric circuit breaker box that needs to be mounted to your wall that can run 12 circuits of your house. That will need to be wired by a certified electrician to your electric junction box that's already on your house, or your fuse box. You now can connect up to that, and you guys can actually run 12 individual rooms or circuits or areas. By doing that, you now tied into your electric grid, and this is going to allow you to charge at 4,000 watts through this plug. When you charge at 4,000 watts with the 5,000 plus, you have a very, very quick runtime of being charged in under 2 hours, so a little over an hour and a half. Below that are two NEMA style plugs, a 14-30 and a 14-50. The difference with that is these are dual voltage charging capable, 120 and 240 capable. I can plug in my MIG welder into this. I can plug my central AC into this. I can plug in my hot tub to this, my house, my clothing dryer with the larger plugs. It has the capabilities of running 220, so I have that capabilities. This also gives you your first look of the cooling on some of these systems. So it has a nice large open air design. There are fans inside and electronics as well. With it, we can now roll it around and we can turn it to the opposite side because there are more ports of connectability. When we go to this side, I'm going to drop it down a little. At the bottom, you're going to see the DC expansion port. That is your battery expanding port. That is going to allow you to link up to 5 batteries with this system. You're also going to see your 1800 watt AC outlet. This is your wall plug charger. This is going to allow you to charge at 3.5 hours. Even at 3.5 hours on a standard wall plug for 5,000 kilowatts of power is actually a really, really quick charge time. Jackery did not leave it there. There's more to this in different ways. So when we pop this panel off, your panel will not come off like mine. I actually took my panel off. You guys will see that I took it off on purpose because I want to be able to show you guys this all the time. You have low power solar array plugs. These are DC 8020 plugs. Now, with the DC 8020 plugs, you guys can charge at 1200 watts. Now, at 1200 watts of charging, it is technically a 5-hour charge time. Now, that is a kilowatt an hour. That's still actually quite quick to charge this. I mean, if you think of the 2000 plus system, that is a 2-hour charge time. Now, that is, of course, again, a kilowatt an hour. So they continued that with this. For the people like Phil and Sheila and a few of you guys others, you have your large solar array solar systems already on your house, the roof of your house, the backyard and mobile movable panel arrays, right? All you gotta do is flip a switch, connect it up to, of course, the pigtails over here, and you now can actually join into those 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 watt solar panel arrays, and this is going to allow you to charge at 4,000 watts. I can tell you, most of you will not get 4,000 watts of charging on a 4,000 watt solar system. The larger solar systems will probably get, more wattage because you never always get full sun on all of the panels. So that's just the variation. So 4,000 watts of charging capability, again, at under 2 hours, a little over an hour and a half. If you use the wall plug charging and the low power solar array together, you guys will be able to charge at a quicker time frame. If you want to, flip the switch, turn it back off. Now there is this really funny handle at the bottom if you guys need to grab it. It is down there. Now there is, of course, 2 large 3-inch wheels and casters on the front. With that being said, this should be able to run your house dryer. I'm going to say you should be able to get a couple hours with the house dryer, all right? You're not going to get all of the world's runtime with that. It's just one of those things. One sec, everybody. Oh, I knew that was coming, so I was kind of warning. So you have the capabilities, guys. You guys can do it. You can run whatever you want. You're going to have over 10-year lifespan without a problem. Cell to body technology, LifePo 4 cells, Charge Shield 2.0. You're going to have, of course, all of the other great technologies. This one is created a little bit different than those. If you are a data miner and you guys mine cryptocurrency at home, or you guys run medical equipment or CPAP machines or oxygen machines or anything that's vital that you do not want to have a blip or flicker to. This has what's considered a 0 milliseconds of online UPS switchover. So you guys plug this into the wall, you plug your devices into it. If your wall power loses, it can stay up and running without a problem. So Jackery did create that to kind of fix that issue. If you want to run a 1,000-watt AC, a 50-watt light bulb, a 60-watt house fan, and a Wi-Fi router, you will get anywhere from 14 to 170 hours depending on the product, right? So you are just variations of products with this. It's got the great power. Alone, 5,000 kilowatts is perfect. It is $27.19, so $2,719 for this product. What we can talk about is that you can get the 5,000 plus with two of the 200-watt solar panels for $3,400 or so. This thing can have 5 batteries. When you connect up to 5 batteries to the system, you have 30 kilowatts of power. Now, 30 kilowatts of power is a very, very large amount of power that is beautifully well done. So you do have the power that's going to allow you to stand and run your home, no issues. If you want to and you link it up to a second system and then Phil picks up 10 batteries for you, you guys can actually have 60 kilowatts of power and you should be able to run your home for at least 14 to 15 days. That's including like your central AC, your hot tubs, your kitchens, your hot water tanks, your kids' fish tanks and stuff like that. So you can do that. Connect it up to electric grid, allow it to charge on the electric grid, and then run off of these. You have all that. Inside the app control of the smart transfer station and the app for the device, you guys can see generation and consumption of power. You guys can see generation and consumption of solar. You guys can set up what's called, like off-peak running time and on-peak running time. So if your electric grid is charging you 43 cents, kilowatt during certain times, you guys can actually change that, and you guys can, of course, run off-peak hours, and then on peak hours you run on this. So it will allow you to do that without a problem and no issues whatsoever. Now, next up, we're going to talk about a brand new product that I don't even have on hand yet, but I do want to show it to you because it's actually quite beautiful. Now, we showed you guys the original 1000 V2. Jackery is now creating what's called the HP 1000 V2, or the Home Power 1000 V2. Now, with this device, we're going to go to the product page. You guys can see right here. This is 1,024 watt hours of power that can be fully charged in a 1 hour time. It has a flashlight on the front that's going to do a couple modes of standard lighting or SOS pattern. It's going to have a 30 watt USB-C port, 100 watt USB-C port, 18 watt USB-A port, 12 volt 10 amp plug, and 1,500 watts of through those 3 AC outlets. Now, this is going to do a couple different things. First and foremost, it could run your PC for like 6.5 hours. It could run your CPAP machine for 19 hours or your mini fridge for 15 hours. Now, inside the app, we can actually change it to charge in a couple different ways. First, emergency situation charging, 50 minutes of runtime. Standard wall plug charging, a little over an hour. If you had 400 watts of solar panels, 3.5 hours is going to be your runtime. It is built to last for over 16 years with no problem. It, of course, has this beautiful 10 milliseconds of UPS switchover, but it now includes a 3 kV surge protection. So 3 kilovolts. That is a lot of power. So it can actually do 3K volts of surge protection. So your devices are protected with this. It also allows you to do what's called output prioritizing settings. Now, you guys can prioritize which plug does what. So you guys will have ACs 1 and 2, and then, of course, AC1 is going to be the first 2 plugs, AC2 is going to be the second 2 plugs. So let's say AC1s are connected up to your fridge and your water tank or something like that. You can set that to prioritize, and it will be the priority number 1 device that gets most of the power. So you could set up a timer with that. You guys could set up everything else in between. You guys can prioritize how much percentage of the battery goes to that system. It would be the same as if you guys want to prioritize your USB-A ports. I mean, most of you are not going to prioritize charging your cell phone. Gonna go there. Some of you may prioritize your cell phone if you're really with your cell phone. Price tag on this one's going to be about $499, but definitely really well done. Now, again, indoor, outdoor, off-the-grid living, it is a phenomenal product, and that, of course, is that Home Power 1000 V2. Phenomenal, great little option with, of course, their new piece. Now, they did recreate what's called the 2000 Plus, the Home Power 2000 Plus. Now, if you guys see that stack back there, that is the original 2000 Plus. This is an amazing station that is over 2,042 watt hours of power, but it weighs 62 plus pounds by itself. Jackery is like, nah, that's too much weight. Nah, let's change it up. Well, they did that. They created what's called the 2000 Plus Home Power. Now, the 2000 Plus Home Power is, again, 2,048 watt hours of power. That's the wrong video page, but you guys can see it right here. You have, again, the 18 watt USB-A port. Where they changed it is you now have a 140 watt USB-C port compared to the old 100 watt USB-C port. You still have that 30 watt USB-C port, 12 volt 10 amp plug, but you have the 2 sets of AC outlets. So you have AC1 and AC2. That is, again, going to allow you to prioritize the plugs. So if, again, I want to have my CPAP machine in my fridge prioritized, we put it on AC1 and we set that as the main prioritized devices, or vice versa with AC2. Should allow you to run your refrigerator for a couple days, no problem. You should allow you to run your, it says 850 watt window AC for about 2.5 hours. Technically, you could run a 10,000 BTU window AC off of this for exactly 2 hours and 2 hours and 6 minutes is what I got off of it with my 2000 station. They're saying about 24 laptop charges. That's like a 60 watt laptop for that one. Again, the prioritizing for your core essentials, your long battery lifespan, and then, of course, your charge time. Wall plug charging at 1800 watts is an hour and a half on this device in a hurry. So it is a lot quicker than the original. If you want to do solar charging with 800 watts of solar panels, 3.5 hours. Solar charging wall plug combined is 1.1 hours. So you do have a nice quick time with that. 140 watt USB-C fast charging cable. That's going to be great for your MacBook users, your tablet users, your laptop users with your gaming laptops that charge that way. It is expandable, so you guys can add batteries all the way up to 12 kilowatts of power with the single station. Again, you guys can parallel it with the second station and go 24 kilowatts with that on hand, but that's just one of those things if you guys are paralleling. One battery is going to be 4 kilowatts, 2 batteries in the station, 6 kilowatts, 5 batteries total in the station, 12 kilowatts. So you have those variations. 10 milliseconds of switchover, so can be used as that. Now, just remember though, if you're using it at max AC output at 1800 watts, it's about 3 hours of runtime. At 1440 watts, it's 3 hours or more, depending on how you guys are running this. Still 30 decibels, so it is very, very quiet. You don't have to worry about it. Now, phenomenal product. That's going to be $899 for that price tag. Now we're going to jump forward. We're going to show you guys one more product in the carousel through the pages. And this is another brand new product. Now, we had three brand new, I think 3 or 4 brand new products that we are showing you guys, or 3. We did not show you guys the fridge backup. It wasn't in the carousel. That's on me. Now, we showed you guys the 3600 plus down here. Well, Jackery created what's called the Home Power 3600 Pro. Now, the Home Power 3600 Pro does have 120 and 240 volt capability. What we're going to show you guys is that device right here. So let's come over here. Let's grab the product page and let's show it to you. This is a 70-pound product. It's going to have 2 of the standard AC outlets that do 4,000 watts of pure sine wave power. Then it's going to have that 5th NEMA style plug that will actually do 120 or 240 volt capability. It's also going to allow you to connect up to a manual transfer station, or of course vice versa. Now you have a single USB-C port on the front that's 100 watt max and 18 watt USB-A port. You do have multiple plugs on the side. You're going to have the DC expansion port. You're going to have the, of course, the beautiful 80/20 solar panel connections. You're going to have, I believe, I can't remember what the other connection is that's back here. It's almost like an RJ45. I don't have that plug in front of me, or there's specs for that one. This will have enough power again to run your washer or dryer about 5 times, 3.5 hours with your portable AC to 3 or so. Again, 2.5 days with your refrigerator. 85 hours with the 5 watt light bulb. Can still prioritize what you run. 10 milliseconds to switch over, which is actually great. You have that capability going to 240 volt, 120 volt, which means I can run my refrigerator. I could run, of course, my dishwashers, washing machines, dryers, or all of those other products in between. Charge time is going to be about 2.5 hours on a wall plug, or about 1.5 hours with the AC expansion port at 40 amps. That is a different plug, guys. If you want to do 1200 watts of solar charging, it is a 4-hour charge time. So you do have those variations. Can add batteries, so you guys can add up to 5 batteries. 5 batteries on this device is a little about 21.5 hours. So you do have that nice runtime with that. This thing is amazingly quiet again, 30 decibels. But you guys have a phenomenal product like this that is going to stand the test of time. Now, there's a lot more to it, guys, besides what we were just talking about. You guys can do so much more because it's got all of those connectabilities, all of those ports on hand. Now, it is considered a 1-unit MTS auto backup, so you guys can seamlessly support multiple devices if you wanted to. So, like your basic home power protection, you're going to have capabilities with this. If you use it as 2 MTS, I think it is system. Let's see if I can pull this. Like 2 MTS, you guys are going to have like 8,000 watts automatic backup. So that's going to be linked with the second system in the manual transfer station. It just varies. You guys can choose your setups, how you want to do it, where the different ways now. This could power your RV and your EV car. So yes, you guys could actually charge an EV car off of this, even though your EV batteries are probably a lot larger than, dictating off of this one. Multiple spaces, smart home, low cost. It's going to save you guys quite a bit of money throughout the year. It's just a phenomenal product. So if you need 3600 home power, is an option for you. Any questions, guys? I'm not seeing any questions. Let's see, what is our next product in the carousel? It is the 2000 plus. Man, we kind of blew through this show tonight. All right, so we're going to move over to the 2000 plus station. We're going to change angles. We're going to change cameras. We're going to go to the Tower of Power. This is that beautiful, beautiful 2000 power station, guys. Now, this 2000 power station is 2,042 watt hours of power in a 62-pound package. Now, 62 pounds is actually quite heavy to most, but they do have two large 3-inch wheels. Now, if I come over here and show you guys, this is what it looks like. You have those two large 3-inch wheels and that telescopic handle. It will allow you to roll it across pretty much all surfaces without an issue. So you guys can run it across sand, you guys can run it across dirt, whatever you really wanted to. You guys can run it across that with no problems whatsoever. Now with it, you're going to have a bunch of ports of connectability on the front. 200 watt USB-C ports, two 18 watt USB-A ports, a 12 volt 10 amp plug, and 5 AC outlets. Now these 5 AC outlets will allow you to do 3,000 watts of sine wave power. That is enough power to run a window AC. And to prove that point, I'm going to get up here with my ugly red shorts. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to turn on the power. We're going to wait for the digital display to come on. We're going to turn on that plug. You guys can see I fully charged this device last night. We're going to grab my AC. My AC is set at about 70 degrees. You're going to notice it's going to start pulling about 120 watts of power. Now, when it actually indicates, it's going to drop my runtime down here. It looks like we're going to be about, it's going to keep dropping and dropping and dropping until it has the perfect indication of how long it can actually run at 100 watts. So about 13 hours. If I drop my AC to 60 watts of power, or down to 60 degrees, it is then going to change the amount of power that's pulling through my AC. Same if I turn the fan up. Then it's going to readjust the actual runtime that we have left in here. So that's kind of where you're at with this. Now I'm going to leave that window AC plugged into that. It is a 10,000 BTU window AC, and it can run this. The better part is if I want to, I can come over here to the Jackery app. We can say, hey, let's connect up to the 2000, and it's going to come over here. It's going to start scanning. It's going to look for systems and all of those other beautiful little pieces. Now let's see here. We're going to go for a power station. The icon flashed. And of course I would have to reset it, but once we did that, I can turn on the AC outlets. I can shut the AC outlets off and all of those other beautiful pieces. Of course I would have to rescan it and all of those other pieces. Here's the cool part about this. You have the 5 AC outlets. You have that 30 amp TTR30 right there, which is beautiful. You have the 4 standard 3-prong AC outlets that do, of course, 3,000 watts, 6,000 max. The kit is going to come with the device and 2 solar panels for like $1,274. Now, at $1,274, it is actually a great, great deal for a product of this magnitude. Now, with that, it is only going to take you 2 hours on a wall plug to fully charge this device. So you guys will have 2,042 watt hours of power in 2 hours. Whether it be 6 of the solar panels, 200 watt solar panels, or on a wall plug, you have a 2-hour charge time no matter what. If you guys are rolling across country, it's going to be over 30 hours to fully charge this device. I'm sorry. It's going to happen. This has enough power to run your welding machine for about 30 to 35 minutes by itself. Should be able to run a lawnmower. It's already running a window AC, so you have no issues there. Again, it is of course expandable. You guys can add 5 batteries to this. By adding 5 batteries, it's going to be like 12 kilowatts of power. You guys can link it with the second system and have 10 batteries, 24 kilowatts of power. Can connect up to their manual transfer station, which will be wired to your house through, of course, your electrician. It's going to allow you to run your home, no problems with that as well. Has enough power by itself to run a 200-watt desktop PC for at least 12 hours. Could run a CPAP machine for about 100 to 150 hours, depending on the CPAP machine. You guys can do ACs. You guys can do refrigerators. You guys can do a hair dryer off of this. And this is what I was kind of going with when we had the question earlier about a hair dryer. Most hair dryers are about 1,100 to 1,600 watts of power. I'm glad it helped you out. They are actually really, really beautiful. So, like, let's say a 1,600 watt hair dryer should give you a little over an hour runtime off of this device. So that is where you guys, hair dryers are really hungry powered. I'm not sure why, everybody has to have a hair dryer. It's just one of those things. I mean, I don't have a lot of hair, so I get it. Movie projectors, over 15 hours of runtime, guys. 26 hours with the portable refrigerator. If you guys want to do 60 cell phone charges, go ahead and do so. You have no issues with this. I'm glad it helped you out during a hurricane and tropical storms. They are actually quite magnificent. And of course, you guys can see it's sitting back there. We do have a battery sitting on top of it. Phenomenal price point. With that. Yeah. We get. I've been asked several times, will this run a hair dryer? Will that run a hair dryer? And with that being said, it's kind of funny that I mean, I do have hair. My hair grows really, really quick, but I shave my hair at least once or twice a week. I don't allow it to grow out. But my wife, she has a hair dryer. She asked the same question: can this run that? Yes, it could. Will it run it forever? No. I mean, my wife, she will sit in the bathroom doing her hair for over an hour. So, I mean, I get why people, with that, you can grow your hair. Next photo. I get it, Phil. Your hair doesn't grow. My bad, buddy. So, phenomenal product, great little option. By itself, it's an amazing piece. You guys can get it as a package deal, though, and I always recommend getting it at a package deal because when you get a package, you guys are going to get 2 solar panels, a battery, and the station with this one. So if we back this up, you guys can see the battery sitting right on top of it. It's going to allow you to double your battery capacity to 4,085 watt hours of power, which now just doubled your runtime on everything that we talked about a little bit ago. So let's say your welding machine now has an hour and 10 minutes of runtime. Your hair dryer now has 2.5 hours of runtime. Your 1150 watt window AC now has 4 hours of runtime or more. You actually 33 kilowatts of power today. Man, you got a lot of battery backup, Phil, don't you? You got enough power to run my car? And of course, with this, guys, this is kind of cool. Now, we talked about how you guys can actually do 6 of the 200 watt solar panels on the station with that. I have had no problems with the wheels at all with these ones. So maybe it's kind of hit or miss. I do have a dolly as well for some of the others. But then again, I mean, a lot of people are rolling them across surfaces that I may not be doing that Now, the station can use 6 of the 200-watt solar panels to charge at 2 hours of charge time. The battery pack can actually connect up 6 of those same solar panels. So you have the option to have 6 panels on each piece, which now means each piece is charged in a 2-hour time frame if you have 100% sunlight out and everything else in between. If you need to, though, guys, you guys can do the larger solar arrays and everything else. Okay, yeah. I've like I said, I haven't had that problem with any of these. What's up, Wiz? How are you doing, buddy? So phenomenal stations, guys, will get you through those times and needs. Great price points. The package deals like $1,869, which is like 15% off. Uh, Kind of crazy that that's where they're at with that one, but beautifully well done. So phenomenal products, great little options. If you guys are looking, definitely check it out. Now we're going to kind of talk solar panels and solar panel options. We're going to show you guys the 500X solar panel. If you guys have not seen their 500X solar panel, it is actually a quite large and beautiful solar panel. Let's go here. Let's show you guys this video. So this is me taking the 500X outside. We had it laying out there. It was not sunny yet. It was like, I think, 6 o'clock in the morning when I did this video. So the sun was not out there. This is made from 6 of the 85-watt solar panels interlinked. It is interlinked with Anderson clip plugs. So you guys have that. It's going to come with a 10-foot cable. It's going to allow you to connect up to a lot of your larger stations. Now, it is 98 inches long. So it is a rather long solar panel. With that being said, each panel is set at a 25-degree angle because it actually can charge bifacial, so both sides are chargeable with this. Would you happen to know of... Check out Valentino. If you're looking for a good clone, check out Valentino. I love Valentino. Phenomenal sense. So that's like the 500, guys, and yeah, I do appreciate all you let me know about all that. Just back from tech meeting, then my son says he broke it. Sorry to hear that, Wiz. Sorry to hear that, buddy. So like I said, I was just showing you guys the 500X. It is an option for you guys. Now, we're going to show you the Mini 40. Now, the 40 Air or the Mini 40 solar panel is their smallest solar panel option that they offer. Now, just because it's small doesn't mean it doesn't work proper. Now, 12 inches tall, 10 inches wide, when collapsed and folded up. Now, it is what's considered a W or a trifold design. Now, with this, you have a magnetic clasp. You guys can actually pop that magnetic clasp open. And when you guys do that, you guys can see the trifold design, right? Trifold, 3-panel design. Pop it open, you have quad panels. Now, this panel, it's actually quite large when folded out. It is a beautifully well done panel, IP68 rated, fully waterproof, water resistant, harsh and wet weather. Leave it out in the rain, leave it out in the sun. It's not going to hurt it. I actually threw this in the bathtub for a test. I don't always recommend doing stuff like that, but me being me, I test stuff out and we just kind of keep going. Now, with it, you have the panels. This is going to work for charging most of your smaller stations from like the 100 plus, 240s, the 300s. Technically, you guys could plug it into the 500 if you wanted to. Phenomenal little piece, guys. You guys can see the length of this. Better part is it's got these beautiful rings right here. These rings are going to allow you to hang it off of something or tie it down. If you guys want to go hiking into the campsite, only snap open 2 of the panels. Strap it to your backpack and allow it to charge your phone or other devices. Let the sun hit this as you guys are hiking and allow it to charge. This is $98.99. Now the 40 Air is a bifacial panel. So you guys have bifacial panel. It's going to be a nice lightweight panel. This is like 2 pounds. So a 2-pound option. Put it in your backpack. It's the size of a 3-ring binder. This will do very, very well for all of your options and needs. If you need to step it up, you guys can definitely step it up to a little bit bigger one. Let's say the 100 bifacial. So the 100 Air, we're going to kind of go here with this. I don't actually have the 100 Air. I have the 100 Light, or the 100 bifacial. Now the 100 Air is just pretty much almost the same variation, right? Bifacial charging, you're going to have the reflective charging side. You're going to have built-in kickstands, right? So you guys have the built-in kickstands. You're going to have another kickstand over here that's on the opposite side. Snap rings that's going to hold it shut. When you pop it open, you have that trifold design, right? So you have the trifold design, but you have a large 60-inch panel. So this is 60 inches long. Now, by being 60 inches long, you guys are going to get a great charge rate with this. This does approximately 23 to, I believe it's like 23% efficiency in converting light to power when you're in a 25-degree angle and low light settings. So what that means is if you guys have overcast skies, you have slight drizzle, this will still get about 23% efficiency in converting light to power. So that conversion efficiency is there. If you guys have 100% sun, it is like 90 degrees outside, there's not a cloud in sight, this is going to charge at 100 watts of charge rate at 18 volts, no problem. What I'm going to tell you is not always, is there never, 100% sun. It rarely can happen, at least in my area, so I have never seen 100% power yet. Great option, IP68 rated, with this, fully waterproof, water resistant, harsh and wet weather. Comes with a 10-foot cable. That 10-foot cable actually has a 5-volt 2.4 amp USB-C plug and USB-A plug. The USB-C plug, I think, is a 3-amp variation, so you guys can plug in your cell phones, your laptops, charge those off of the solar panel without having a power station. Use the 10-foot cable, connect it up to the power station, and you're good to go. Now, this is made with monocrystalline solar cells. It is 7 pounds. It is very, very lightweight. It does come with the 8020 adapter to even the 7909 adapter, and if you guys need the USB-C to 8020 adapter, you guys can get that as well. Now, this will work on every station that they offer, from the 100 plus all the way up to the 5000. This is $209. It's normally like a $300 price tag, so 30% savings on a 100-watt solar panel. Not a bad deal whatsoever, guys. Honestly, not a bad deal. Let me snap this shut, and we're going to show you guys. I do too. I love the bifacial option. Even though you don't have to use both sides, they give you that option. And the reflective light that bounces off the ground to give you that little extra charge when you normally wouldn't get it, it's amazing. And it's just a great option. And how light they're making these panels, it's kind of crazy that they're starting to make them that light. If you want to step it up and you guys want to go a little bit bigger, you guys can get the 200-watt panel. Now, the 200-watt panel is about $339 today, normally like $380. We'll pop up here. We're going to close that one out. We're going to grab a different video. I will show you guys the 200-watt panel. So this is the 200-watt panel. The same 10-foot cable. It's going to have the 8020 and 7909 adapter. It's going to have the USB-C and USB-A port on that orange cable. And I'm going to grab it in a second and bring it closer to the camera. You guys will see right here. I grabbed it, brought it up here, and I'm like, oh, look. This has got the adapters. This has got the USB plug. You guys can charge phones off of this panel by itself. Now, again, with the 200-watt panel, it is bifacial charging. So you guys get that reflective charging at a 25-degree angle. Now, With that, you guys have now an 89-inch panel. So it's like a little over 89 and a half inches. That's almost a 90-inch panel. It is a very long panel. So much so that I could not get it all on this video. And that was kind of crazy to me that I finally got something I could not fit on video in my house. With this one, you guys are going to get 26.7% efficiency in converting light to power in even low light settings. With the larger size of this, it only weighs 14.3 pounds. So, yes, it's double the weight of the 100-watt panel, but it is, of course, two 100-watt panels put into a panel. So you guys will see what that is, why it weighs that weight. Now, it does have ETFE laminated handles for protection. It is, of course, those nice plastic handles. It's going to allow you to carry it around. It is still a trifold design, but it, of course, has quad panels. The 5-volt 3-amp USB-C port, 5-volt 2.4-amp USB-A port, and you guys can connect up simultaneously. It does have a sunlight angle indicator, so you guys can angle it at the sun, point it at the sun, and get the optimal charging for the device. So that's where you guys are going to be at with this. If you had... let's say you had 6 of these and you connected up to the 2000 Pro, it'd be about a 2.5-hour charge time. So phenomenal panel, beautifully well done, and if you need to, definitely check that on out. Now the next one up is going to be the 100 Prime panel. This is their tempered glass variation. Inside this tempered glass variation, you're going to get a bunch of hardware, and we're going to talk about the hardware that comes with this. So this is your DIY tempered glass solar panel. It's a permanently affixed style. It's going to come with these brackets, and they call these Z brackets because it's almost the shape of a Z, right? They're going to have 2 self-tap screw holes and 1 nut and bolt lag style holder. This is going to allow you to mount it to your roof, and then you guys will set the solar panel right on top. You get 4 of these, so you guys are perfectly set to mount the stuff. You're going to get 4 nuts and bolts inside the Ziploc bag. These nuts and bolts are stainless steel. You're going to get 8 self-tapping screws. Now, the self-tapping screws are fine thread, and there's a reason for the fine thread. That's because if you guys mount this into your motorhome, your RVs, and toy haulers, that metal is quite thin and it's going to need something to grip on. So they give you that fine thread, but it also has the self-tapping drill bit end. So you guys don't have to worry about if you're going into metal or if you're going into sheetrock or wood. It's going to grip, it's going to go in, and you're good to go. Again, like the last device, it's going to come with, of course, that 10-foot cable. But the 10-foot cable on this one's a little bit different. It is permanently attached to the product. Now, I'm going to change and move this panel because I have one panel in the way. Let me grab this panel. So this is your permanently attached glass panel. You cannot fold this panel. If you drop it, you could actually break it if it hits something improperly. The black side is going to be the most of your charging rate with this. Now, metal housing all the way around. It still, like the other one, has bifacial charging. So you have the reflective side that can get a reflective charge, which is almost that blue hue. You have 12 pre-drilled holes, so you guys can actually mount it however you want with those brackets. The 10-foot cable is permanently attached to this device. Now, with this 10-foot cable, you have what's called the Anderson clipped end. Now, the Anderson clipped end can go to their Y-splitter Anderson clip, so you guys can link multiple of these panels together to go into the larger stations, or just use it by itself and use the 8020 or 7909 adapter to connect up to the smaller stations. Now, by doing that, guys, you have this fully waterproof, water-resistant solar panel that can be left out in Arizona heat. It's not going to hurt it. And if you leave it out in the rain and snow, it's still going to, of course, be totally fine. If you get it dirty, wash it off, no problem. If you guys get fingerprints all over it like me, just ignore it because we're just showing it on camera, and then wash it later when your wife tells you to clean it. Guys, this is an amazing little panel. This panel is actually $169. This is probably one of the cheaper 100-watt panels that you're going to find in this class range. With that being said, it is, of course, a heavier panel. It's glass, so it's not going to be more of your Mobileye style, but it has that option. Now, we're on the last product of the show today, and this is actually one of my favorite panels. This, again, is a bifacial 100-watt solar panel. But with this bifacial 100-watt solar panel, it is cardboard thin. So this panel is super, super thin. So much so I call it cardboard thin. It's like paper thin, guys. With it, again, bifacial charging, so you guys have the reflective side that can be charged. You guys don't have to use it at a 25-degree angle. You guys can lay it flat if you want. If you guys put it at a 25-degree angle, you guys are going to get a 25% efficiency in converting light to power in low light settings. If you lay it flat, you're going to get about a 20 to 22% efficiency in converting light. So you get that little extra efficiency with that. The reflective side is going to be the side that you face the sun. It has, of course, these snap ring holes in it. It has the permanently attached cable, but this one is a flat wound cable, as in where the other one was a round cable. You still have the Anderson clipped in, and it's going to come with the 8020 and 7909 adapter at the end. Now, what makes this panel different than all of the others that actually makes me like it the most is I can actually bend it at 220 degrees arch. So if I need to curve this to the top of my motorhome, or to the top of my shed, or to the top of a house or whatever, I can curve it at 220 degrees in this arch. Do not go past the 220 degrees. Be careful when you're bending it. You guys go too far, you can kind of hurt the panel. But it's bendable, so we can bend it, we can curve it. That means if I live in an apartment building, I have a balcony, maybe that balcony has a curved banister on it, or a curved front panel, I can strap this to this and use it that way. Guys, this is so light, so thin. It's only $200 too. This is normally a $300 price tag. This thing is crazy light. This is something, you guys, I can carry this around all day without a problem. And it makes a really great saw sound. So if you guys need fully waterproof, water resistant, harsh and wet weather, but flexible solar panel, that is the 100 Lite. Now, with that being said, guys, that is the last product I have for the show tonight with that. Now, we will be back tomorrow morning with another show at, I want to make sure, I think it is, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to find the time slot real quick. I don't want to misspeak when I'm going to be back tomorrow morning. I believe... All right, I'll be back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. So if you guys want to see another Jackery show tomorrow morning, I'll be back at 11 a.m. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. If you haven't, hit that follow button, guys. I cost you nothing to go to follow us. Also, hit that beautiful live notification button. It'll tell you guys when we go live. With that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. I'm going to go take I'm going to bed. All right, I'm just going to go to bed. It's over. I need the rest. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you, Wiz. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, guys. See you guys on the next one.